Welcome Algebra 2. In this video we are going to begin to try to understand how to solve power functions, right? We need to understand how to solve power functions in order for us to then be able to move and solve exponential functions. So first let's start with solving power functions. So let's give you a basic equation and let's start from there. Let's say if I wanted to solve a problem like this. Alright, let's say we have x squared. I'm going to change the font size a little bit. X squared is equal to 4. Alright, we can solve this in a couple ways, right? We can solve this first. Well, we know the opposite. To undo a square, we take the square root, right? We want to solve for this, so we just take the square root to both sides. Alright, when we take the square root to both sides, remember, we put a little plus or minus on the outside. That kind of lets us know there should be two solutions, right? And the reason why we should get two solutions is because, well, when we have this equation right here, right? Well, square root of 4 is 2, so we're going to get x equals 2 and x equals negative 2. Now let me explain. That's where the plus or minus come from. One solution is the positive of the square root of 4, and the next solution is the negative square root of 4. So we get 2 and negative 2 because 2 squared is equal to 4. That's a solution. And we also know negative 2 squared is equal to 4. You know, negative 2 times negative 2, a negative times a negative is a positive, and 2 times 2 is 4. All right? Well, there's another way that we could solve this, and this involves using the exponential properties that we have learned in this class. Now, one of the properties that we learned was if we have this right here, x squared is equal to 4, we can raise both sides by the power of 1/2. We raise both sides by the power of 1/2. Well, over here, what's 2 times 1/2? What is 2 times 1/2? Well, you're basically dividing 2 by itself, right? Whenever you multiply it by the reciprocal of itself, 2 times 1/2 is the exact same thing as 2 divided by 2. One way you can see that is 2 times the 1 up here is 2. Then we have divided by 2, so that's 1. So that's why they cancel out, and we get x is equal to, and just as before, we're going to put our plus or minus, and we're going to get 4 raised to the 1/2. And we get x is equal to, now if we compute that, we're going to get plus or minus 2. The exact same thing that we got over on this side over here. We got x is equal to 2 and x is equal to negative 2. Alright, remember we learned the square root of x is the exact same thing as x raised to the 1/2. It does the exact same thing. So this is one idea on intro to solving power functions. This right here is kind of the new idea of us raising it to a power, basically by the reciprocal of this right here, 1/2, to then be able to solve a problem like this. And the reason why it's helpful is, well, let's look at this example here. So if I have a problem like this, x to the third, all right, is equal to, let's say 27. All right, we want to be able to solve this. Actually, I'm going to rewrite this a little bit different. Let's say y is equal to x to the third, and we want to solve when y is equal to 27. All right. So step number 1 that we should do is, I didn't do it on this example up here because I was just explaining how now we're going to be using exponential properties up here. You know, basically what we did is taking the reciprocal 2 and then we raise it to the 1 divided by 2 so that these cancel and give us 1, so we get x by ourselves. Now, one thing I want you to get into the habit of is I want you to make sure that whenever you're approaching a problem, you graph it. All right. So here I have this graphing calculator right here. So if I go to y equals, I turn this on, I go to y equals, I'm going to do x raised to the third, and we graph this. All right. Look at the graph. So if I put my little graph right here. All right, we got something that looks kind of like this. I'm just doing a quick sketch. All right, and it goes on forever. Let's look at it one more time just to make sure. Yep, it kind of has a little bit of a stretch there. Looks good. We just got a quick graph. Cool. Go ahead, clear that off. We're good to go. All right, I'm asking you to solve when y equals 27. Well, if you look over here, let's just say that this is 27 right here, right? So if I kind of draw a line, it only touches my function once. So I should only get one solution. Okay, so I should only get one solution because it only touches my function once. All right, so now I'll go ahead and set this up. We're going to get 27 is equal to, I put it in for y, we're going to get x to the third. All right. Now this is the exact same idea. Well, I want to get rid of this 3 on the exponent. My goal is to get x to the 1 equals some answer. It's just going to be one solution. Well, we're going to use exponential properties, the power over power property, and we're going to raise this to the 1/3. On the power, raised to the 1/3. All right. Well, 3 times 1/3, that's the same thing as 3 times the 1, which is 3 over 3, right? You're taking 3 and you're dividing it by itself 3 times. You just get 1. That's why you always take the reciprocal. All right, so we get x to the 1. This is gone. And we get 27 to the 3rd. All right, now you can use your calculator, right? For example, you grab the calculator over here, and we can do 27 raised to the, and we put parentheses, 1 divided by 3. And we're going to get 3. So we know our answer is 3. All right, but one thing that I want to talk to you about again is that this 3 right here is basically saying what number multiplied by itself 3 times. So what number multiplied by itself 3 times, actually I'm going to use a different notation. What number multiplied by itself 3 times, I'm going to use A, gives us 27. Well, we use the calculator, but if we actually try it, 3 times 3 times 3, well, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, right? So our answer is 3. All right, so that's basically what this fractional power is telling us, is what number multiplied by itself 3 times gives us 27. It's the same thing for up here. What number multiplied by, when we had this right here and we had 4 to the 1/2, we're saying one number multiplied by itself twice gives us 4. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. That's why the answer is 2. All right? This is an introduction to power functions.